Hi and welcome to Love Doing Yoga on this Friday evening. Hope you've had a lovely week. Looking forward to a nice weekend. Nice kind of flowing practice today. As always, throughout the practice, listen to your body and only do what feels right for you today. So let us begin our practice today in child's pose. So there's lots of different versions of child's pose. The classic version is with your arms down by your side and your forehead on the mat. If this is comfortable for you, then by all means go in this position, or you might prefer to have your knees out wide and either have your face down, your forehead down on the mat, or put one fist on top of the other. So whichever version of child's pose feels the most relaxing for you, make your way into it. Close your eyes. Let go of your day and everything that's going on in your world. And just bring yourself to the mat. Allowing the body to relax in this pose. Becoming aware of your spine. It's gently rounded from the pose. Becoming aware of your connection with the mat. And the softness of your body. And let your attention here go to your breath. As you inhale through your nose into your belly, pause, and then exhale. Feeling the body move with your breath. Elongating the exhale. And let's take 3 more breaths here. And then from here, just make your way down onto your belly on the mat. Again, letting the forehead come onto the mat. Bring your hands either side of your chest, elbows pointing upwards and close to your sides. And let's just draw up the forehead and chest away from the mat. Holding it here. And slowly drawing down. And again, rising up, keeping a lightness of the hands. And lower down. One more time. And lowering down, bring your arms down by your sides. And we're going to draw up the forehead and chest and the legs for a locust. So drawing everything up and away. And bringing it down. And again, rising up. And lowering down one more time. Lifting up the legs, the chest, the forehead, keeping the gaze on the mat so the neck stays nice and long. And lowering down onto the mat, bringing those hands either side of the chest as you lift up into tabletop. And from here, we're going to make our way into downward dog. So coming into it slowly, just pedaling those legs, starting to waken them up, lengthening through the spine, finding that space, that depth of stretch. Becoming aware of your shoulders, just draw them back away from your ears. Gaze towards your belly button. And when you're ready, coming to stillness. Let's take 3 breaths here. With each exhale, think about just deepening further into your downward dog, letting those hips go back even further. And stretching the right leg out behind you. Let's step it through and lift up. And we'll make our way into a warrior 1. So this front leg, the knee is over the ankle. Nice bend of that knee. With the back leg, so your feet are hip width apart or maybe even a little bit wider. That back foot turns slightly outwards, but more or less pointing towards the front. Square up the hips. Keep that connection with the back foot and the mat. Keep an eye on your knee. The right knee, that it doesn't fall in or out or the leg open up. You want to keep it still. Raise the arms. Engage the core. Soften the shoulders. Let's take 3 breaths here. Good. Before we move, just scan the body. Release any tension in the jaw, the shoulders, or anywhere else you might be holding tension. Your leg is engaged, but your upper body should be free from tension. Let's bring that left hand down onto your thigh. Bring the right hand in front, palm facing upwards as we draw into a reverse warrior. So we're drawing this palm towards us, following it with our gaze so we have a nice back bend. And then pausing here. And coming back to upright. And then from here, we're going to hinge at the hips. Let this left hand come down onto the mat. If you find that a little bit too low down, you can always use a block or a book or anything to rest your hand on. And we're going to raise this right hand up for a reverse triangle. So bringing yourself into your position, trying as much as possible to have the arms in one long straight line. And if you want a little bit more, you can open out that front leg into a stretch. Remembering, keep the softness in the knees. And let's take 3 breaths here. And bringing that hand down, let's just swivel around to the long side of the mat, opening the legs out nice and wide as we lower down into a forward fold. You can let those hands walk backwards and deepen the fold. Two more breaths. Each breath getting a little deeper into that forward fold. And then walking the hands out, heel toe the feet towards each other, and then when they're about hip width apart, turn the toes out, heels in, and come down into a squat. With your elbows pressed against the knees, knees against the elbows, lengthening through the spine, then closing the eyes here. Let's take 3 breaths here. Hands down onto the mat as we come down onto our knees. Open out the feet and just sit up nice and tall. So we're lengthening through the spine again, ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips. Just let the arms hang straight down, engaging the core. If your knees are objecting to this much bend, you can always stay up, or indeed use your block to come to a halfway point. One more breath here. And then from here, we're going to come onto our bellies. Again, forehead on the mat, arms down by your sides as we lift up into our locust for 1 breath, remembering to keep that gaze on the mat. Lowering down for a breath. Rising up again for 1. And down. And 1 more. Lifting and holding. And then as you bring your feet and forehead to the mat, bring those hands either side of the chest, pushing up through tabletop into your downward dog. Finding your optimal downward dog here. And again, taking your 3 breaths. Let's stretch that left leg out behind us and step it through, coming up for our warrior 1 on this side. Remember, squaring up the hips, making that stance as long as you can, still keeping that connection with the back foot, raising up the arms, Release all those points of tension. And now let's take 3 breaths. And bringing that right hand down onto the back of the right thigh, bring the left hand across, hand facing up, drawing it back for reverse warrior. Being conscious of that left knee, that it remains bent over the ankle. Feeling the whole torso open up here. And rising up. Again, hinging at the hips to bring that right hand down onto the mat or a block. And raise the left hand up. And again, if you want to open out that left leg, do. Gaze looking upwards. So you're getting a nice little twist to the upper body. And drawing the hand down, we're going to come again to a forward fold on this long side. So opening those legs out nice and wide, folding forward, walking the hands through. One more breath here. And then stepping the hands out, heel toeing the feet in, and coming into your squat. Good, closing the eyes, going inward for 3 breaths. And then again, opening the eyes, coming to lie down on your belly. Let's flow through that on each side with just 1 breath for each pose. So starting with our locust, arms down by your side, drawing up the forehead, chest and legs for a breath. And lowering down, bringing the hands either side of the chest as you push up into your downward dog, taking a breath. Stretching the right leg back, stepping through, rising up to your warrior 1, just getting the pose right, squaring up the hips, knee over ankle, raising the arms, releasing the tension. Take a breath. Changing this now to your reverse warrior. Nice back bend. Take a breath. Coming up and flowing through with your arms to your reverse triangle. Taking a breath. Bringing that right hand down as you turn on your mat to come into your forward fold over your straddled legs. And heel toeing the feet to hip width to come into your squat. Taking that on to the other side again, coming onto the mat, into your locust for a breath. And flowing through to your downward dog. Stretching that left leg out behind you. Step it through, warrior one. Find your pose and then go to your breath. Moving it into reverse warrior. And then rotating to your reverse triangle. From here to your forward fold with those stretched legs. And going from here to your squat. And going for it now once more on each side. So through to lying down on your belly, lifting up for locust. And downward dog. Stretching the right leg out behind you, stepping it through, finding your pose. Warrior one. Flowing to your back bend, reverse warrior. And then your nice rotation into your reverse triangle. From here, moving to your intense leg stretch in your forward fold. And bringing that back to your squat. And moving from here again onto your mat, final side. Rising up to your locust. Down onto the mat again as you move into your downward dog. Stretching the left leg back, stepping it through, bending the knee. Warrior one. And then through to reverse warrior. And your final reverse triangle. Taking it through to your forward fold. And then coming back to finish in your squat. And from here, just moving to sit on your mat with your knees bent. And we're going to lift it up into a boat pose. Remember, you're going to really let your core do most of the heavy work here. So drawing up that pelvic floor, belly button in and up. As you raise the feet up, maybe extending the legs out. And see, can you hold this for 3 breaths? Letting the feet come down as you lower yourself down onto your mat. Hug the knees into the chest and take a bit of movement here. Massaging out the back. And then letting those legs come down and open out long. Arms down by your sides, palms facing upwards. Allowing the body to soften and let go. And thank you so much for joining me in this practice. I hope you enjoyed it. Nice work for the legs and hips. And remember to let us know when you complete the practice so we can add you to our roll of honor for the end of February. So letting go your feet and your legs. Letting go your glutes and pelvis. Letting go the whole back of your body and shoulder blades. The front of your body, chest and shoulders. Letting go your legs, your arms and your hands. Your head, your face, jaw and chin. The whole of your body, just let it go. And take a little time here for self-appreciation, self-gratitude. Grateful for who you are. And then let your attention go to your breath as you observe yourself breathing in through your nose, into your belly. Pause. And then exhale.